Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on one of the internet's most powerful and most hidden forces, botnets. They're this massive part of the digital underworld, operating completely in the shadows of our everyday online lives. So let me ask you a question, and it's kind of a chilling thought, isn't it? What if the device you're on right now, your computer, your phone, what if it was secretly part of a criminal enterprise, without you even knowing? Look, this isn't science fiction. For millions and millions of people, it's a reality. So let's dive in and see how this whole thing actually works. Okay, so probably the best way to wrap your head around a botnet is to picture a huge digital zombie army. Seriously, it's just a massive collection of infected devices, all controlled by one person, ready to carry out orders on a scale that's, well, it's pretty hard to imagine. And the name itself, botnet, kind of gives the game away. It's just a mashup of the words robot and network, and that's exactly what it is. Each device in this network acts like a mindless robot, just blindly following commands from some distant controller, all without the owner having a clue. And that's where the whole zombie analogy really clicks. Each individual device, whether it's your laptop, your PC, or even your smart TV, is called a bot, or, you guessed it, a zombie computer. It's a zombie because for all intents and purposes, it's dead to you, its owner. It's been brought back to life to serve a new malicious master. Right, so if you've got this giant zombie army, you obviously need someone in charge, a puppet master pulling the strings. In the world of botnets, they're called a bot herder or a bot master, and they use what's known as a command and control infrastructure, or CNC for short, to dish out their orders. And these bot masters, they've got two main playbooks for controlling their armies. The early, kind of old-school botnets used a simple client-server model. Think of it like a general standing on a hill shouting orders. All the bots report back to one single central server. The problem? Well, if you can find and take out that one server, the entire botnet is basically decapitated. Game over. So, of course, the bot herders evolved. They moved to a peer-to-peer model. Now all the bots talk to each other, passing commands along the line. It's decentralized, it's resilient, and it is much, much harder to shut down. So how does your perfectly good computer get drafted into this zombie army in the first place? Well, it's usually a four-step process. First, infection. You get tricked into letting the enemy through the gates. Maybe you clicked a shady link in an email or downloaded a file you shouldn't have. Then, installation. The malware quietly installs itself. The third step is the call home. The bot secretly reaches out across the internet to its command server. And once it makes that connection, that's it. Step 4, enlistment. Your device is now officially a zombie soldier, just sitting there, waiting for its next set of orders. Now here's where it gets truly wild. You might think these massive digital armies are just for the private use of the people who build them, but no. The botnet has become a product, a commodity. You can literally go on the dark web right now and rent time on a botnet to carry out your own attacks. It's crime as a service. And what do people rent them for? Oh, the list is long and nasty. The most famous one is probably the DDoS attack, which stands for Distributed Denial of Service. This is where the bot herder commands the entire botnet, hundreds of thousands of machines, to all visit one website at the exact same time. The site gets flooded with so much fake traffic that its servers just give up and the whole thing collapses. They're also the reason we get billions of spam emails. And then there's something called credential stuffing. This is where bots take stolen usernames and passwords from one data breach and just automatically try them on thousands of other websites, banking on the fact that, you probably reused your password somewhere you shouldn't have. Just to give you a sense of scale here, this number, 30 million, that was the estimated number of bots in just one botnet called Lab before it was taken down. 30 million computers. That's more than the entire population of Australia, all working for a single criminal enterprise. It's just staggering. But the good news is that this isn't a one-sided fight. This is an active war zone, and there are security experts and law enforcement agencies around the world constantly working to find and dismantle these networks, to fight back against this digital horde. And the fight takes place on a whole bunch of different fronts. Sometimes it's a direct physical raid with police literally kicking down a door and seizing the command servers. Other times, the tactics are way more subtle. Security researchers might set up what's called a honeypot. It's a decoy computer system that's intentionally left vulnerable, designed to attract malware. Once the malware takes the bait, they can trap it and pick it apart to see how it works. And all the while, they're constantly analyzing huge amounts of internet traffic, looking for the telltale digital fingerprints of botnet activity so they can block it at the source. The thing is, this whole fight is a constant arms race. Back in the early 2000s, botnets were pretty simple. They were basically all about sending spam. But by 2007, the Storm botnet came along and pioneered that super resilient peer-to-peer structure we talked about. Then, in 2016, everything changed again with Mirai. It didn't just go after computers, it targeted insecure smart devices like your webcam or your router. And just a few years ago, we saw botnets like Mantis, which prove you don't even need to be huge anymore to be devastatingly powerful. It's a smaller army, but it launches some of the strongest attacks ever recorded. And this constant evolution is why this matters so much, because the very nature of the zombie army is changing. And the scary part is, the new recruits, well, they might be sitting in your living room right now. The battlefield has totally expanded. It's not just our computers anymore. It's our entire homes. Every smart speaker, every security camera, every connected appliance that isn't locked down tight is a potential soldier for the next generation of botnets. The pool of potential zombies isn't just growing, it's exploding by the billions. And that really leaves us with a critical, looming question for our super connected future. We are, right now, building the largest potential army the world has ever seen. And we're building it out of our own gadgets and devices. The only question left is, who is going to end up controlling it? Thanks for joining us for The Explainer.